So I want to direct this to the residential real estate agents. So listen, don't get mad at me, but I really want to talk with you about something that I think is super important. And that's, as you're building your brand and as you're putting yourself out there, I think many residential agents can do a better job. Let me tell you what I'm talking about here in just a minute. But first, who am I? My name is Mark Hulsey. I run Results Commercial. We're a commercial investment brokerage firm located throughout the United States with offices across the U.S. But our main presence is Minneapolis, St. Paul, Wisconsin, Chicago, Florida. Okay, res agents, here's what I want to talk about today. You guys have so much incredibly good, valuable experience. You're so good at adding value. Adding value how? Well, I tell you what, I've heard stories. I'm lucky that I'm surrounded by some of the highest producing residential agents in the country. And I'll hear stories from them about some of the things that they do for their clients. And it blows my mind, okay? I'm not exaggerating. I'll hear about stories how they go over and above on behalf of their clients. But I just hear that story when I'm talking to them. I can look on social media and what do I see? Let's congratulate Bill and Mary holding this big key. They just got done with a closing. I'm like, if I see one more of these posts, in fact, I was just talking to a residential agent at a closing last week. We happened to cross each other. I was doing a closing and she was coming out and we had a fun conversation about this. And she said, I know, Mark, I know. She goes, I'm just about ready to stop doing those posts. But at the same time, I still think they're valuable. I said, no, I'm not saying you shouldn't do them. Here's what I think you should do, residential agent. I think you should educate the consumer, educate your sphere group on what you're good at and all the value that you have, in the way that you protect them, the way that you go over and above on behalf of your clients, the way you'll coordinate things like contractors or staging or moving. And again, they'll tell me story after story about, oh, Mark, you wouldn't believe what happened just right before the closing and what I had to do to make sure that closing happened for my clients. In fact, last night I was just reading about one of these about I had to go over and shovel out before the closing because the sellers decided they weren't going to shovel their house, but yet we need to have reasonable access for the buyers. I thought, what a great example. What a great example of what so many agents are willing to do to look out for their clients, but yet it's not being communicated. So this is what I'm kind of begging you residential agents to do. And it's on behalf of the industry, by the way, you guys. This is really important. I don't want consumers just sitting and thinking and looking about that your job's just so easy. All you do is throw it out there on the MLS. You get all these multiple offers. Now I know this market conditions are different than what they were not too long ago. And so it's a little bit different market environment now. So it's not quite as easy as it was. But I'll tell you what, that whole thing of making it look so easy with multiple offers in a short amount of time and posting on social media, that's not doing anybody in our industry any favors whatsoever. It sends a signal to the consumer that looks like your job's pretty easy. Looks like you're making a lot of money and not having to put a lot of effort in. When the reality is that many residential agents are doing so much on their clients. So guys, that's all I'm saying to you. Of course, you guys, back in the old days, it was like the residential real estate agent was responsible for finding the property. Of course, that went away a long time ago. And now residential agents, they bring so much other value. So for instance, first and foremost is data interpretation. Okay, so knowing how to take in the information and sort through it and provide the guidance. This is crazy important. But when I talk about going over and above and beyond, I mean, some of the examples that I've heard over the years on what agents do relative to, here's kind of a quick rundown. Okay, I'm gonna look at my notes here. Quick rundown: snow and lawn, dealing with rodents, dealing with repairs, safety issues, right? Crime statistics, schools. There's all these different issues that come into play that residential agents end up helping their clients with. And it's so important that we start talking more about this whole value of services that the res agent brings to the deal. With every deal, think through, what did we do? What did we have to do here that was over and above? What did we do special for our clients? Maybe you're working with buyers and you had to work on their credit for a year or 2 years. Okay, there could be any number of things that you had to do to work out something with an apartment before they moved into a home, or with your sellers and what you had to do with the pets. I mean, the list goes on and on. Those are the stories that I find interesting. That's where the value is. And that's the selling of value, the selling of service, and not just showing, look at another closing, look how great it is that I just brought offers, 15 offers for $15,000 over list price in 15 minutes. I just think that residential agents have so much more to offer to the consumers out there. So guys, I hope you'll think about this. I hope you get where I'm coming from. okay? And if you agree with me, great. If you don't, that's perfectly okay too. Hey, if you like what I talk about, and we cover the gamut from the very simple to the very complex, investment, brokerage, you name it, I hope you'll think about subscribing to our channel. But I do appreciate you big time being with me today, so thank you.